Hey everyone, welcome to Lesson 12 Concept Development video. Hope you've been outside this weekend enjoying the weather. It's been beautiful out, even though I'm in the classroom, it looks like I'm outside right now. We're going to work on more multi-digit multiplication using decimals, but today we're going to try to use standard form inside of this standard algorithm. So we're going to leave that decimal right inside of the standard algorithm today. And if you still want to use area model, that's fine, but we're still going to use the unit form method for that so that we can make it a little bit simpler. So we'll continue to decompose to the smallest place value and use unit form. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me flip you guys down and I'll minimize this so that doesn't get in the way. All right, let's get practicing. So yeah, yellow's a good color to start with. Let's go ahead and work on 2 and 31 hundredths times 22. So now we're going to use standard algorithm with the standard form to solve for this. So we're going to leave that decimal right where it's at. But if you're going to use area model, that's okay. Just remember you can convert this to unit form. And then multiply that by 22. And I'll help you set it up real quick. 200 plus, I'll put it on the bottom on this just because I didn't have room up there. But we know the rules of a rectangle, so that's mathematically accurate still. Perfect. So if you're going to use area model, just remember that you're working with hundredths and you'll need to convert that back into standard form. So let's go back over to the standard algorithm side, and we can just forget about that decimal for now, and we'll deal with that near the end. Now, we're going to just take the 2 ones times top number. So 2 ones times 2 hundredths is 2 hundredths. 2 ones times 3 tenths is 6 tenths. And 2 times 2 is 4 ones. And we can put the decimal right there. You don't really have to. Actually, it's probably best not to, just to not clutter it up. So now we can do our 2 tens times the top number, and the same thing's always true. We got to place that 0 to, whoops, I don't want the highlighter tool. We can place that 0 to represent the tens place. Now 2 times 1, 2 times 3, and then 2 times 2. Let's go ahead and add those up. Now we know that we were dealing with hundredths up here. Let me get my highlighter. Right? We knew we were dealing with hundredths, which has 2 places after the decimal. So we just have to remember that that's exactly how many places after the decimal we want down in our answer. So we just do the same thing that we were working on before. We just place it in the right spot so that we can represent hundredths. So our answer is 50 and 82 hundredths. Now I'm going to pause my video so that I can finish the area model so that other people can check their work over there. All right, you can see that now we have the area model completed, that our partial products were exactly the same as our standard algorithm. So I knew I was correct. But just to finish the work, I stacked and add them, showed my hundredths, and then showed the conversion back into standard form. So now in our standard algorithm, we're doing all of those steps all in one, making this method even faster and more efficient. So that's why we encourage you to start transitioning away from the area model into the standard algorithm. But as you can see, area model gets it right as well. So as long as you're accurate, that's all that matters. Let's go ahead and do some more practices. Let's go ahead and do 2 and 31 hundredths times 221. Let's go ahead and convert it for those people, and for ourselves, not just for those people, but let's convert it in our heads to hundredths. That's 231 hundredths times 221. And sometimes it even helps us to visualize the area model. So let's go ahead and visualize that. I'm drawing it out to visualize it. Oops. All right, now we can go ahead and just set it up. Standard algorithm. Now notice, I'm not stacking them, lining them up with place value. I'm just stacking them up so digits are over digits. We're going to use our place value knowledge of where that decimal goes, because we know that hundredths has 2 digits behind the decimal. So we're going to remember that when we go ahead and work on our answers. All right, so now we're going to just go ahead and do what we always do and take our first digit down here in the ones place. We're going to multiply it by the top number. Oops, get rid of this highlighting so I can get my pen tool. And 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 2 is 2. All right, now I'm going to go ahead. Now we're working on the tens place times the top number. So we're going to go ahead and represent the tens place with 1 0 down here. 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So even though our place values are not lining up, we make sure that our digits are lining up so that when we go ahead and replace that decimal, that it'll work. Now we're done with this place. So now we're going to go to hundredths place value and go ahead and multiply that by the top. But first, because we're in the hundreds place, we got to represent that with 2 zeros. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So let's go ahead and add those up. 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. 4 plus 5 is 4. Whoops, 4 plus 1 is 5. So now we knew that we were working on 2 and 31 hundredths. So we have to show our hundredths in our answer. So we know hundredths is 2 digits after the decimal. So we want to make sure there's 2 digits behind our decimal when we place it. So our answer should be 510 and 51 hundredths. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause and fill out the area model so you can see that work. All right, my area model is complete, and I see that all my partial products are exactly the same as my standard algorithm. So I know that I would have had the answer of 51 hundredths. And then that would have to convert that and place our decimal. So it would be the exact same as 510 and 51 hundredths. So great job. One more practice, and then we'll go to the problem set. Let's clear this. Now, what happens if we're going to multiply with a decimal less than 1? So 0 and, let's go ahead and do 98 hundredths times 495. So if you're going to be using the area model, and for us to help us visualize the standard algorithm, remember that this is just 98 hundredths times 495. This time I'm not going to help you set up the area model. I'm just going to start working on standard algorithm. So let's go ahead and set it up. 0.98 times 495. Now remember, we're just going to work on it just like we always do, kind of forgetting about the decimal for now. We're going to do the ones times the top number, tens times the top number, and then hundreds times the top number. So look, let's go ahead and get started. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 9 is 45 plus 9. Plus 4 is 49. 5 times 0 is 0. Plus 4 more is 4. Great job. Let's go ahead and move on. Now we're going to do the tens place times the top number. So we're going to go ahead and represent that with a 0. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 9 is 81. Plus 7, 88. 9 times 0 is 0. Plus 8 is 8. Great. Now we can work on our hundredths place times the top number. And we first got to represent that with 2 zeros to get to the hundredths place. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 3 more is 39. 4 times 0 is 0, plus 4, plus 3 is 3. And we can go ahead and add that up. Making a lot of simple math mistakes, but I'm catching them hopefully today. 4 plus 8 is 12, plus 2 more is 14, plus 1 more is 15. 8 plus 9 is 17, plus 1 more is 18. 3 plus 1 is 4. So that's 48,510 hundredths. But remember, we know that we're working with hundredths, so our decimal has 2 digits behind it. So we can go ahead and place it right there. So our answer is really 485 and 10 hundredths. Great job. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the problem set. I'll see you over at that video.